Good morning, and welcome to the morning conversation. Today's conversation is with Allison Hoke Fitz. Allison has been a part of the Trinity family for nearly 20 years, and one of the things she's missing the most right now is teaching our 2-year-old rock class. Here in early 2021, we decided to look back on the year that's been and talk about some things that we learned, some things that we didn't like so much, and some things that we want to carry forward with us. Here's our conversation.
Hi, I'm Allison Hoke Fitz. I have gone to Trinity since 2003. My son was about 5 months old when we joined, and
Oh
then
my
we had him
gosh.
baptized the same
Yeah.
day.
Mm-hmm.
We had gone to a lot of different churches in this area. I'm not from the area, so we'd moved here maybe late 90s, and we're checking them
Okay.
out. I was
Gotcha.
raised Lutheran, but we were checking
Oh,
a lot of other things.
right.
And then a friend invited me to Trinity, and that's all it took. One visit, we
Mm.
felt right at home. I remember we sat in the back because I was
Mm-hmm.
afraid he would cry, and if I had
Yeah.
to exit quickly, I could do that.
Right.
And Pastor Mike came up before it even started and said
Mm.
hi, and I'm like, well, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're all music lovers, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that kind of hooked us too, was the
Nice.
contemporary music. So
Yeah.
I felt at home immediately and kind of back to my roots. Um,
Yeah.
and just it was good to be back to something familiar.
I can't believe it's been since 2003. That's
Yep.
quite a while. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, so we're starting here a new year, and we wanted to talk a little bit about how it's been. We haven't been together as a church in a long time, and we're trying to stay together and feel connected in a lot of ways. But 2020 was a strange year. I think everybody knows that.
Strange
So
is a simple word for that.
strange. Yes, it was a unique year
Yeah.
that covers multitudes. So, let's talk a little bit about some things that we've learned. Like what was something, maybe the most important or most striking thing that you learned in 2020? Like what did 2020 teach you?
Um, I'm kind of a planner, so I think if anything, it taught me to be flexible a little bit
Oh.
more than I am because
Mm-hmm.
it started out great.
Yeah.
So, we got to go on vacation and
Mm.
went to Disney and got the new Star Wars ride. So that
Oh
was
my gosh.
exciting.
Wow. Still have not gotten there myself.
Yeah, and had some, other vacations planned, some family reunions up in New
Hmm.
England, things like that.
Right.
Um, my son was in the school musical,
Oh yeah.
and I was the president for the booster club. So like I
Okay.
was doing a lot of stuff on March 13th to get ready for opening night.
Right.
And then about 5 hours before the show, it was canceled. So
Oh my gosh. Oh
So
my
it took
gosh.
me and some of the other parents about 3 months to get all of that stuff worked out that we had bought and things
Yeah.
like that. So moving forward, at least in that group, we just
Hmm.
don't plan ahead as much.
Hmm.
Type of,
Yeah.
I'm not planning vacations like I used to, and
Right.
just sort of live the day as it is and not think ahead too much.
That is really hard when you're a planning kind of person. That's a really hard thing to sort of internalize, that we can't, well, I mean, we can try to look ahead, but we're probably going to be wrong, or our plan is probably not going to, what beyond the next week or two looks like this is a lesson that we learned at church, is that we can't plan too far ahead, and that's hard for a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'd look at my calendar every morning, and then all summer I didn't even look at it, didn't even need to open it for any reason. So
Yeah. Boy, when that popped up on my Google Calendar, and things have been happening like that all year, like it'll pop
right.
up in my Google Calendar. I'm like, oh no, it's the junior high alive event, at church, or
Right.
oh, it's
I
like
know.
that. Like, I just can't bear to take them out, but they make me so sad.
Well, and that's kind of another thing I learned too, is that I don't consider myself an extrovert by any means, but I like to be in groups of people. I kind of get my energy from
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
whether it's going to a movie or a musical or a concert or something, like I like those crowds and the energy off of it.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So,
So
and again, your memories pop up in Facebook and you're like, oh, a year ago I was doing this, and
yeah. Look at all those people. Look how close together we were.
Yes. And you look at that now, you watch a movie and they're like touching each other, or they're putting their hands somewhere. You're like, no.
I was just saying this the other day that like it's going to affect us in weird way. Like for a long time, it's going to seem strange to, like, because that exact thing, like you watch an old TV show or something and the first thing you think of is like, where's the hand sanitizer? Why are they wearing masks? Like they're too close.
I was always one that never liked hand sanitizer because I think some germs are good for you, but now I know.
That's right. That's right. We've been living on it. But in terms of the, like, I'm a little bit more of an extrovert than I thought thing, like being around people, how have you adjusted to that, or what have you done to, get your fix of that?
No, I don't know if I have, truthfully.
Yeah.
But I'm also not one that I don't consider like a depressed person. Like, oh no, I have nobody. My life's terrible. Nothing like that. I
right.
I can sit in a room and read a book and be happy too. But it's just as exciting and joyful.
Right.
But like one thing I noticed that was nice about it, like I don't have a lot of family local.
Mm-hmm.
So we would make Zoom meetings and like the family reunion I was to have in New Hampshire this past summer. Instead, we did it for Zoom.
Yeah.
You had to work a little harder to do it, but then you're like, oh, this is kind of nice. I'm seeing you more than I would have normally because we're making the effort now.
Yeah.
No, my brother and I were lucky enough. We both had vacation time. It was kind of use or lose.
Yeah.
Our spouses didn't. So we went out west.
Oh, nice.
We wanted to go off the grid per se, so that we weren't, around people too much. So we drove straight through to Colorado.
Oh, wow.
And then we camped. We tented. It was like in the 20s at night. It was pretty
tent camping. Oh my gosh. Wow.
We had our hand sanitizer and our mask, on the trail.
Sure.
If you hike a lot, like in national parks, you always stop and talk to people.
Yeah.
That's not happening now.
So
I miss that aspect of it.
Yeah. You can't really meet strangers, serendipitously at places like that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad
the vacation was great, but just that little aspect of it, like I really miss that.
Yeah. Connecting with people. Yeah. So you've learned those things that were good. What is maybe something that you experienced in 2020 that you hope to not carry forward into 2021 or to leave behind in 2020? Right. Where do you begin?
Well, Linus says from Peanuts, you don't talk about religion, politics, or the Great Pumpkin. But for me, anything political from 2020, if I could just put that behind me.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a year where politics was maybe less present and painful than it was in all of 2020.
Very painful, because you just couldn't escape it, no matter where you went. People were talking about it. It's in media, it's on TV.
Yeah.
No matter what you think, I'm not picking sides, but
right.
Couldn't get away from it. And then after the election, you thought it would end, and it's continuing.
And it's continuing.
And with the Capitol this week, I just want it to stop.
Yeah. Well, and that building is so important for not just for what it is, but for what it symbolizes. And that was really a rough, that happened yesterday as we're recording this. And that was really a rough thing to see, and it just it seemed like it seemed like a metaphor for how painful and just broken things have been in that realm.
Right. But there's such a light at the end of the tunnel with COVID and the vaccine. You just want everything to get better. So
yes, it's sort of let's keep making let's keep climbing toward that light. That's what I really want.
Back. Yeah, I want to go forward. So.
Right. We're not sinking into the pit. We're climbing out of it. Right? So that's good.
Just people arguing with each other and nasty comments on social media. I'm like, let's just stop it.
Yeah. I pray fervently for that. So what's something that you learned or that you took away from the experience of 2020 that you do want to carry forward or hope carries forward into 2021 or beyond?
I'm hoping, again, like I said, with the Zoom calls and connecting with family,
Yeah.
maybe we'll continue that
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And again, like I really realized how much I missed my friends.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, my husband works second shift, so
Mm-hmm.
when I'm home, I'm being quiet because he's sleeping.
Right.
And my
Yeah.
son's 17-year-old boy, so he doesn't want to hang out with mom.
he's
Like,
he's got his own
I don't
agenda, and it
blame
does
him.
not
Yeah, he
involve.
wants to
Yeah.
be on his phone with his friends, but
Right. Right. Right.
just how
Yeah.
much, and I never realized how much my friends and I do together, whether
Yeah.
it's, traveling or dinner or just something simple. So I really look forward to being able to
Yeah.
do that with them in person. But
Mm-hmm.
again, the ones that are further away, at
Yeah.
least continue that Zoom connection, or, because,
Yeah.
we would text and stuff, but that's not the same.
Right,
I like to
like
see
as
people.
actually seeing each other, and it's like we all know how to do this now,
Hmm.
so we can continue that. And
Right.
yeah, yeah, I probably have had better, friendship connections with some people who live really far away from me than with some of people that I could see more often, or right around. I mean, it's a pretty amazing thing, this technology. And yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine if we didn't have that, how
We'd
and
all.
was crazy, but how much crazier everybody would be feeling
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
the thing. It's like we're all like, oh, this is making me crazy. Like,
Right.
imagine how crazy you'd be if we couldn't do this.
Exactly. I think the saddest part for me is my son's a senior this year. So, just the
Yeah.
things he's missing. I'm more
Yeah.
focused on that. But
Yeah.
being that he's my only one, I'm kind of missing out too, vicariously through him. So
Yep. Yep.
trying
Well,
not to feel bad for either of us, but that's kind of tough
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, and I've got one too, and so like all
Hmm.
the things that she's not doing, the dance classes and the
Right.
just all the things, the plays, she was just before the pandemic, she was just starting to kind of age into like, maybe I'm into theater, and like
Uh-huh.
I'm getting into that, and now that's kind of on pause, and it's just like,
Hopefully
yeah,
that'll continue, because
I hope so too. I know that that's really important to Ricky and really
yeah.
important to you guys. Yeah. Yeah. I was a theater kid, so I'm hoping that is something that,
And I wasn't. So again, I'm living through him. So
oh, that's awesome. That's really good. Well, and the thing about being a senior this year is that the vaccines are coming, we're going to get those. And like, I really think that the spring into the summer and maybe even into the fall is going to feel much, much more normal. And
yeah,
knock on wood, like we would all go broke betting on our predictions this whole,
exactly.
it's been like 2 weeks away, like we've been predicting that things are going to change and then they don't. But I really do think that by the time graduation rolls around, it's going to feel, at least, like you said, the light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to
I
see
told him if
we're going to see that a little more
yeah,
clearly.
if we're
We
allowed
won't be
to
at the end of
have
the tunnel.
groups by the summer, you'll have a
Right.
nice graduation party in the backyard. So we'll
Yes,
do that
that's
for you.
right. Maybe we'll still be a little distance, maybe, but at least we'll be able to do stuff like that.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, knock on wood.
Yeah, I'm not going to say yes to anything.
That's
So.
right. That's right. Well, hey, it was really great to talk to you today, Allison. I've really enjoyed just getting to know you and having you as a part of our church, you and your family. And I hope that you have a great day. And thanks for having this morning conversation
Thank
with
you.
me.
And I'm looking forward to when we can meet at church again, too.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That'll be fun.
we're all looking forward to that. We'll
Yeah.
see you again soon.
All right.
Take
Thanks.
care.
Bye.